Hi, I'm Ryan Blair, #1 New York Times bestselling author and founder of AltarCall, a community of spiritual entrepreneurs that know that they're destined for greatness. In this video, I'll be answering questions around spiritual growth, personal growth, entrepreneurial growth, and any questions that you have about becoming the best version of yourself. There are many different ways to manage a business. You have agile, you have lean, you have total quality management. There's a variety of different operating systems that you can utilize to power your business. But the odds are the reason why you're watching this video right now is you're looking for a new way to power your business. My guess is that you're looking for a way that creates greater harmony in your life, greater purpose in your life, that allows you to maximize your productivity while maximizing your impact, a way that activates you at the highest level that you've ever been activated so that you can make the impact that you're capable of. And there's only one way to do that, and that's spiritual entrepreneurship. We developed an operating system for businesses that allow you to invoke your higher power in your business. And in doing so, you will reach higher powers and your team will reach higher powers as well. Right now, there's a revolution happening. Business is changing, the world is changing, and AI is actually changing the way business is done. Jobs are going to be a thing of the past. People are going to have to go from jobs to careers and from careers to callings. We're going to help you turn your team members into seeing your company as a calling. And when your team members see your company as a calling, they act different. They treat relationships differently. They treat customers differently. They treat themselves differently. The work that they do differently. Everything will be different when your team is activated in their calling. And that's why AltarCall exists. When you work with AltarCall, everything changes. You start to have new perspective. You start to grow in your leadership. You start to heal and you start to accelerate your growth in ways that you could not imagine. We've developed systems, principles, practices, tools, methodologies, modalities. We have an entire operating system for you and your business and your team to run on so that it can scale and elevate to its highest potential. When you join AltarCall, you're going to get off the entrepreneurial roller coaster and get onto the rocket ship. We have methods and systems that we're going to transfer to you so that you can operate your business at the highest level of efficiency. And that's what the higher power is all about, efficiency. And that's what we're here to teach you to do. Be more efficient, be more productive, be more generous, have more fun, have more joy, and build a business that is purposeful and that you're proud of. One that will leave a legacy, one that will maximize its impact. We're looking for leaders that want to do more than just lead. We're looking for leaders that want to make change on this planet. And if you feel like you're one of them, and you feel like you're called to this message, I want you to raise your hand and let us know. What's my message to people that believe they don't need to do inner work or self-healing? They're full of shit. Every single one of us has to do inner work and self-healing. Doesn't matter how much work you've done, you'll never be completely healed because as you grow, so does your belief, so does your understanding. And you have to heal the old understanding in order to grow into the new understanding. As you're growing a business, you're gonna have more conflict, more challenges. You're gonna have all kinds of things that are gonna create a bigger understanding, but the bigger that you get, the more things that you're going to have to heal. And so a person who has the audacity to believe that they're perfectly healed and that there's no more work to be done is a person that needs to heal their ego. It's not that big of a deal. The moment that you hit 1 million, set your sights on 10 million. When you hit 10 million, set your sights on 100 million. And if you do that enough times, eventually you'll reach your capacity and you'll maximize and you'll grow. I blew past 1 million. I didn't get caught up in that. I was like, this is chump change. And I came from nothing. I was broke, I was poor, but I was like, my sights are set at billions, not millions. I didn't spend any time congratulating myself when I crossed 1 million. I didn't jump for joy when I crossed 1 million. And how can you? Like with the tools and technology and systems and mentorship that is available today, set your sights above 1 million. Most people think too small. That's the biggest problem that we have as a society is we think too small. Yes, 1 million is a great milestone. I think I got to it at like 23 or 24. It's a neat figure to do. And not everybody's gonna get to it early like I did. And that's not why I mentioned that. I thought really big at an early age. And so 1 million meant, literally nothing to me. And when I built AltarCall, we passed 1 million and some of our younger people were celebrating and I was just like, this is no time to celebrate. This is just an ounce of our potential. Entrepreneurs, and I'm one of them, we're screwed up. We take on the most risk. We have the most mental health related challenges. We have the most depression, substance abuse. There's all kinds of mental health related challenges with being an entrepreneur because we bear the risk burden for all of society. People that have jobs don't bear the risk. There is risk in a job, but not nearly the same amount of risk as putting your life savings, your reputation, your family, and everything on the line to start a business. Healing is a very important aspect of the journey as an entrepreneur, and that's why we have this concept called the entrepreneurial roller coaster. It's because we grow and then we fall apart. We grow and then we self-sabotage. We grow and then we hit our capacity. We grow and then we run into ego. And so if you're not constantly doing work, you're going to hit a number of different ceilings and come back down. And trust me, because the pattern of my life, although it looks like a hockey stick from poverty to wealth, there was a lot of roller coaster rides in there. And every one of those dips was because of a unhealed issue that surfaced that I didn't know existed, or I didn't prioritize the healing of. When people tell me they don't have time, I just laugh, because I've met people that are the world's richest people that have made time to sit down with me and have conversations. And so it's just an excuse. And it sounds good, but it's not the truth, because successful people make time, period. If you value it and you believe it's a priority, then you make the time for it. The issue that I run into in coaching people is they don't value themselves. And so of course they're not going to make the time to invest in themselves. I would tell them that they are not really understanding of how this works. The more that you invest in yourself, the more that you bring that to your business. Your business is a reflection of the investments that you've made in yourself. Nothing more, nothing else. Your external world, which is your business, is a reflection of your internal world. And so when you're investing in yourself, you're building your internal world. For example, I have a vocal coach, I have a boxing coach. Those don't look like investments in my business, but I bring that energy to my business. The more that I build skill outside of my business, the easier it is for me to build skill inside of my business. Most entrepreneurs, they just don't understand it. They don't realize that entrepreneurship is an inner game, and that the external results are a manifestation of the inner work that the entrepreneur does. The more that you invest in yourself, the more valuable your business will be. It's this movement by people to remove God from the conversation. And it's working effectively in capitalism. They're trying to keep God out because it might hurt people's feelings if we talk about God. And you see that. You see people that are gravitating toward that energy that is a real negative energy that's trying to drive God out of business, trying to drive God out of the family, out of school. That's a force at work. And we are counterbalancing that force through spiritual entrepreneurship. We are taking the position that if you do entrepreneurship with purpose, and that if you invoke your spirituality into the practice of entrepreneurship, that you can be a force for good in the marketplace. I never started a business without hiring people. I never saw myself having to do all the work by myself. That's just not a fun place to be. I always saw myself as having a great team of people that were brilliant, that were hardworking, that were fun to work with, and that the more that I scaled my business, the more that I would build my freedom in the process. So many entrepreneurs, they create a business that the bigger it gets, the less freedom they have. As your business grows, so should your freedom grow. That's why we do entrepreneurship. Otherwise, go get a job. You can take time off in a job, you can have vacation time, you can have PTO. The job has built-in freedom into it. Entrepreneurship, if you build it incorrectly, you will build it in such a way that it reduces your freedom as it grows. The only way that I could increase my freedom is by finding people that were talented and that would take on the responsibility that I was bearing. And so my number one philosophy is that I cannot be promoted if I cannot be replaced. So I'm looking to replace myself. Right now I'm the CEO of a $50 million company. I want to be the CEO of a $1 billion company. And so I have to replace myself every step of the way as CEO. I have to go from CEO of a $50 million company to a CEO of a $100 million company, and then to a CEO of a $500 million company, and so forth. And so I have to replace myself constantly by hiring people. That's the only way that you'll replace yourself. An argument could be made that you could replace yourself through some automation and maybe some outsourcing and some things like that. That's important once you have the team in place. Once you have the team in place, yes, you can utilize automations, and yes, you can utilize outsourcing in some capacity. But in order for you to really enjoy business and be able to take vacations and expand the projects that you work on and the value that you create, you have to find a great team. There's no way to do it otherwise. I measured my thoughts when I was being unforgiving, resentful, guilty, shameful. I'm still a work in progress, but I look at those thoughts and I say, that's not abundance. When I'm acting with scarcity. Henry Ford has a quote, if you need a machine and you don't buy it, you end up paying for the machine and you don't get it. When I heard that, I was like, I'm buying machines. In order to be in an abundant mindset, you have to take the risk and then you get the reward. Most entrepreneurs, they don't do that. They try to get the reward and then take the risk. And that's why their businesses never scale. By eliminating noise and distractions. It's that simple. If you get good at eliminating noise and distractions and you cultivate attention and focus, you'll become a master. When you become a master, people will pay attention to that. The reason why we pay a great singer so much money is because of their mastery. You have to get deeply committed to mastery in order for you to break through the noise. Because there's so many people out there that are just throwing out information. So many people that have a message that they're trying to get out on Instagram or whatever social media platform. And the only thing that's going to stand out in the world to come are those people that have pursued mastery. What's the biggest revelation that I've had on my spiritual journey so far? The biggest. I see dead people. That's from a movie. I mean, I do sometimes, but they're not dead, and they're in someplace else. I think that our society, we don't understand how it works. Spiritual awakening is messy. It's a break from reality. When that happens, people hit rock bottom. They crash hard. They have mental health challenges. I'm one of them. I've been through this process and I've helped many other people through it as well. Society doesn't realize that that's a good thing. We judge them, we condemn them, we tell them to get on medication, we tell them that their lives are gonna be ruined, we gossip about them. We don't support them and hold their hand through the awakening and say, yes, this is a good thing. Now you will finally be in position to achieve your purpose. When people get sick mentally, physically, and they go through a dark time, we need to hold space for them. We need to take a stand for them. And we need to make them feel like this is a good thing, not a bad thing. They already have a million worries on their mind, right? There's no need that we add more to them. We need to relieve their burden and help them through this process. I believe that I'm on this earth to help people through spiritual awakenings and to help people begin the process of spiritual awakening and then hold their hand while they build a new life and they get on track to fulfill their soul's purpose. And the reason why I think I went through my own dark night of the soul was to learn about how this process works so that I could help others through it. The most magical thing that I get to do is I'll talk to a family and they'll tell me their son or their child or their husband or their wife is falling apart. And I'm like, no. They're just giving us material that we get to rebuild with. And so that perception is missing in our society. And I love being able to bring that to people because when I tell people that, it's like, no, this is good stuff, not bad stuff. And I see the peace of mind that they have in knowing that I know what they're going through is designed by the Creator himself, that there's a reason they're going through it. And the darker the night, the greater the light. This is one that has been an interesting one because in the secular world, I knew how to make a lot of money. And I walked away from an opportunity to make hundreds of millions a year in profit in the direct selling industry because I know that industry, I know how to build a company in that industry, and I chose not to build in that industry. I chose to go the most spiritual and the most holistic route forward. And when you do that, you have to realize that the money that you are bringing in is not yours. It's the Creator's money. The Creator is going to bless you with it or bless you without it. Either way, whether you have money or you don't have money, you're being blessed, you're being developed, you're being cultivated. And in the absence of money, it builds your character and your resourcefulness. And when you have more money, it builds your ability to be an allocator and to be able to invest that and steward that money. And so once you get over the idea that it's your money and realize this is not my money, this is the Creator's money, this is society's money, this is my team's money, this is my movement's money. Once you do that, then the money will start to flow. You'll get allocated more of it because there's a greater need. The universe can allocate money however it wants. There's money everywhere. God can send a pile of gold to your front door if he wants to. The question is, why isn't he? And the reason being is that you haven't earned it. And so once you realize that you're the Creator's allocator, the Creator is your co-pilot, and the money that you receive should be reinvested in what you're building and the impact that you're making, then the blessings will start to compound. There's an old writing saying, and that is writers write. People want to be writers, but they don't write. People want to share their story, but they don't learn how to tell a story. They don't practice their craft. You have to really be committed to your craft. If you're an artist, you have to be committed to that art. A lot of people want to be authors or writers or tell their stories for the wrong reasons. And you can see that because they're not possessed by their craft. You know, I hear a lot of entrepreneurs talk about being obsessed. And if you're a great artist, you're not obsessed, you're possessed. Like, this is you, this is a part of you. This is the way that you express yourself. And when you have that level of connection to the work, it becomes art. And that art becomes valuable. Well, they often tell me that they're sacrificing. And that's a wrong mindset. You have to see yourself as one mind, one body, one soul, and one role. Your role is entrepreneurship. But if you screw up in the mind, you screw up in the body, and you screw up in the soul, you're gonna be no good at your role. So you have to dial in all four of those things to be phenomenally successful. Otherwise, you will pay a price. In our society, we iconicize people that might be having short-term success, but then you find out in the long term, things are falling apart in their lives. Just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean you're smart. So as entrepreneurs, we have to invest, not sacrifice. And we have to invest our time in our mind, in our body, in our soul every single day so that we can be as efficient and effective as possible in our role. And don't listen to other people that are hyping up other things. Just because a person made a bunch of money today doesn't mean they got it figured out. There's no correlation between money and intelligence. I have a story of someone I coached in the breakthrough. I'll try to leave out the details. This is a person I had a relationship with, and she's a dear friend. She called me up and she was really freaked out about a rent payment that she had to make. And she was paying $5,000 a month, and she's renegotiating the rent. She got the landlord down to $4,500 a month, and she's about to leave property because she thinks she can find a property for $4,400 a month. And I told her, I said, that $100 a month, $1,200 a year, is that worth moving? I don't know how you could possibly move for less than $1,200. I mean, moving is time consuming to pack everything up. She has children. Like $1,200, are you kidding me? And that's one of the things that I see a lot of people make big mistakes over. They're penny wise, but they're pound foolish. To me, $1,200, like I'd rather not have to think about something for $1,200, right? And a move is much more expensive than that. It takes me off my focus. Obviously there's expenses and so forth. And so a lot of times I'm able to help people make breakthroughs because I just help them see the bigger picture. What I ended up explaining to her was like, over the next year, when you stay in this house, we should be able to make far more than $1,200 by staying put. If we move, we're gonna make less than $1,200 in the year to come. There's a lot of times where I just help people make a small shift because they see a different perspective. The way I'm trained mentally is to think about things in multiple different ways. And I have a perspective as an entrepreneur that has been built over 25 years and lots of experimentation. So when I work with people, I just show them a different perspective. And oftentimes that creates a shift in them that allows them to not have to worry so much about a small decision so they can start to think about bigger decisions. The abundance experience is for anyone that believes there's something more to life than what they're currently experiencing. And they believe that there's something that is holding them back. There's some perspective or level of awareness that they need to achieve, but they believe that there's something more inside of them that they can't tap into in their present environment. So they leave that environment, their home or wherever they're at, and they come into my home. They see the way I do business. They see the way our team operates. They get the wisdom and the principles and the practices that we utilize to scale our business. They get to ask us questions. They go through modalities. The experience is designed to activate them at their highest level. So they bring that back to their environment and they radically change their environment. So they come into my environment to get activated, to go back home and activate their environment. So it's for people that are looking to get activated, basically. Hey, if you like this video, like and subscribe. I guess there's like some knobs that you can press to do that. Or check me out on Instagram. I'm @RealRyanBlair. DM me and we'll have a conversation.